take a deep breath and try to find a way to fight this battle one day at a time. Know that you're not alone in this fight. Greetings to all, and once again, we are back with an insightful interview session.
Thrive, an escalate to tranquility, is a one-of-a-kind heartful maneuver instituted to form a comfortable and safe space for all individuals who are looking for a potential platform to instill coherence, empathy, and liaison. We at Thrive endeavor to build an inclusive community for everyone while invigorating the ones in need and thereby creating a blossoming impact in the lives of many.
Today, we are starting with the third session of Virtuous Tales, an initiative of Thrive, wherein we attempt to strike candid and incisive conversations with our distinguished and charismatic guest personalities. We aspire to become a helping hand to the unheard souls and aid in their development and sustenance. Now, I would like to introduce the team of Thrive, wherein we have Yash Sahu as the president, Suhani Periwal as the vice president, Kopal Goel as the content director, Chakshu Garg and Rupayan Saha as the creatives and technical team.
Today, we are so delighted to have Ms Arouba Kabir with us, who is a mental health therapist and counselor. With an experience of 9 years in the field, she has been proactively creating an awareness about mental health, its importance and significance, via offline and online mediums for a decade. She works with individuals, couples, families, educational institutes, corporates, and rare individuals. As her dream was to provide a holistic approach to emotions, mental and physical health, she founded Enso Wellness in 2015 and has been running with other similar mindsets since then. It's a one-step solution. She has been awarded many times to her efforts in the mental health field and as a woman face in entrepreneurship. We welcome you, ma'am, and we are so pleased to have you with us. Before starting with the questions, we would like to hear from you.
Sari mehnat, huh? So, I say thank you so much, Swami, and thank you so much, Akshu, and Yash, of course, and Kopal. So now it's really amazing what you guys are doing, and I really love the idea, bringing people, talking to them, finding all these things, creating awareness. I guess it's amazing. So I wish you guys all the best, and I'm pretty excited to be here. Let's get it started.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are glad to have you on board with our sessions, and it's really exciting to hear from you. And without further ado, let's get started with the questions.
Sure.
So, mental health is defined by different people in a multifaceted manner. However, there definitely is some basis that entangles these definitions. So, what, according to you, is your idea of mental health?
We all know physical health. And I know that if I get hurt here, I will have to do something about it. If I get injured, I will have to do dressing. But then we also know that there is a part of us, part of our body, it's called brain, which is inside the skull. We can't see it. Whatever is happening there, how things are happening, how things have happened, how has it stored, what is the vocabulary, cognitive functions, so many things. I guess things we do not see, we take them for granted. We can't see brain, we can't see mind, we can't see all these things, and we're like, koi baat nahi. But now, if people ask me what is mental health is a necessity. You are nothing without mental health. There's no point spending time in the gym, grooming yourself, getting your muscles toned if you're not toning those brain muscles, if you're not toning those thoughts, those feelings, navigating them better. So mental health is a very, very important part of our lives, no matter where you are, no matter what your gender is, no matter what your age is. You're a living being, you have a mind, you have a brain, you have a body. So come on, physical and mental health have to go hand in hand. You can't just say that, okay, I go to the gym, I go for a run, I dance, I take aerobic class, I'm fine. No, it's a cognitive triangle. It's like feelings, thoughts, behaviors. So you have to take care of all of these things. Yeah.
That was so great to hear from you, ma'am. We wanted to know, how did you come up with the idea of starting Enso Wellness, and would you like to share any key takeaways related to it?
And so wellness was never a plan actually. So I myself have gone through mental health struggles when I was younger. And then I also got diagnosed with a physical health illness, which is called cystic fibrosis. Now, during that period of time, I got introduced to psychiatrists, psychologists, taking medication, feeling better, getting better, and all that struggle started and the journey started. I thought it was because of when I got diagnosed and I was 21. But then when I looked back, my teen years were, I felt always a misfit. I would not be able to connect people of my age. I was a good people pleaser, high achiever, and I had good suicide ideations, tendencies. So that means no, it was not the diagnosis which caused the emotional health instabilities. It was always there. Childhood was felt, teenage was felt, and young adulthood was felt, right? It just got diagnosed. So when I got diagnosed, I lived in Delhi back then, Delhi NCR. It was so difficult for me to find a right fit for myself. I've gone to many psychologists, many psychiatrists. Psychiatrists would give me medication and say that get therapy. Therapist would say that, I know you have a diagnosis, try to be happy. How? Why am I not being, how am I able to cope up with these emotions I have? So that was the time when I started traveling, across the globe, finding those things for myself. Now I was privileged enough to get that support. I traveled to this country, got this help. I traveled to this state, got this help, and everything was sorted. When I felt better after 3 years, I knew I didn't have a career now because I had gotten diagnosed with a rare illness. I had to make a lot of lifestyle modifications. I was like, अब मैं क्या करूं? I'm feeling better, but I'm not fit for a 9 to 5 job. I'm not fit for high pressure. And I want to maintain this work I have done on myself. I looked back, I had psychology background. I was like, cool, let me get trained. So I studied further, got trained, again, traveled to places, got all the certifications I needed. And then I started seeing people one-on-one. It was never a plan to company kolna. I started seeing people one-on-one. And in those times, like, 2012, 13, 14, it was like I would go to people's places because, oh, you have a problem, I'll come to your place. You don't come to me because, I had to go to people. So it was again people pleasing tendency. But there was this one auntie once, and she said, Bete, मैं ना तेरे पास आ जाया करूंगी, कम से कम मैं घर से निकलूं, 4 बातें करूंगी वहां पे तो और अच्छा लगेगा. I was like, true. I go to their space, they don't open up well. So I came back home and I told my family, I said, listen, I want to have a space of myself for myself. And so wellness came into existence. It was my partner's idea, the name. And I just said, I want this. Well, how about Enso? I was like, what does Enso mean? Okay. And I'm not very, informative that way. I have to get information. And he explained to me, he said that, Enso means a space where you are free to create. And that is what Enso Wellness means. It's a company, it's a platform, it's a space where you come, doesn't matter who you have been, doesn't matter what has happened to you, doesn't matter what you have done. We are giving you a chance to create who you want to be, which is healthier, better, best version of yourself. So come join Enso Wellness, and we are there. And I made sure that we have people from different therapy backgrounds. It is not just that, oh, you get CBT, oh, you get counseling. No, you believe in Reiki, I'll give you Reiki. You believe in physical exercise, we'll give you yoga. You believe in meditation, and I will make it, customize it for you and tell you the benefits of it, but you have a choice to choose. And that is what we are doing.
One of our questions was to know the idea behind the name, but you beautifully explained it, ma'am.
It's a space where you're free to create.
Yes, ma'am. We wanted to know how can we contribute towards a noble cause, and like we as students or part of Thrive, how can we associate it with it?
See, everybody can be associated. It's not, people sometimes ask me that who is mental health therapies or awareness or education for? Everybody, from age when you can talk, even say 1, 2, 3, from that age until you die. It is for everybody, because everybody has emotions, everybody has to navigate through the life. We are taught as young people, young children, we are taught how to do maths, how to read English, how to speak different languages, how to tie your shoelaces, how to brush your teeth. But does anybody teach us how to navigate your anger? Like, gussa mat karo. Nobody talks about, oh, गुस्सा दुकान से खरीद के थोड़ी लाया है. ऐसे बोल रहे हो जैसे मैं गई और बोला भैया 1 किलो गुस्सा दे दो मुझे. अगर कुछ मेरे अंदर है, so I am sure there are better ways to navigate it. We have a way. I can study, do some technical course and become an engineer. I can also use the same course to become a criminal, to become a maybe, chore. I can do that, right? The same thing, anger is within me. I can use it to destroy myself and others, and I can use it to be more assertive and to be more in charge. Right? Now, how can people contribute, or how can Thrive contribute to raise this awareness that it is for everybody? Seeing a therapist, a counselor, a psychologist, a mental health professional, a psychiatrist should not be stigma. Like if somebody is unwell and you ask them, hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to see this orthopedician. I have this backache for so long. And now if somebody has a fracture in thought and they haven't been sleeping well or anything, where are you going? Arey, I'm going to meet a friend, man. Oh, थोड़ा सा काम है यहाँ बैंक तक जाना है. वो हॉस्पिटल में किसी से मिलने जाना है. They won't say I'm going to see a mental health professional. Right? So the role comes there to create more awareness and that stigma. And people sometimes tell me, कब ये stigma end होगा? मैं कहती हूँ तुम तो बात करो. बाद में बाकियों का बाद में कुछ सोचते हैं. If you want to see the change, be the change. Why are you waiting for other people to bring the change and then you will, वो herd में चलने लगोगे? You don't have to. You can even 1%. When I remember when I was in therapy, I was seeing therapist and all. And this friend came to see me and she said, "Tum kahan gaye the?" And I said, "I just came back from a therapy session." And she's like, "What is that?" I said, "When those days I was taking sessions from a psychiatrist." I said, "There's this doctor and he's a psychiatrist. I go and talk to him and, we learn better coping mechanisms, strategies and all of that." And she's like, मतलब तुम पागलों के डॉक्टर के पास जा रही हो? I just smiled. I said, हाँ, पागलों का भी तो डॉक्टर होना चाहिए ना. अब सेम चीज अगर वो ये भी करते वो भी करते तो क्या बोले. So then she's like, okay, but does it make you feel better? I said, I can identify my patterns now. And हो गया खत्म. And after a few months, she came back again. And this time I was with a psychologist. And she asked me, hey, how's the therapy going? I said, it's going well. And she's like, I can see the change, yeah. You're really grown. I feel that. I see that. And I said, do you want me to connect you? She said, no. And after exactly 1 month, she called me. She's like, can you connect me with your therapist? It's simple. Now, in her family, everybody has taken therapy. And she chose therapy as a profession today. So that is how it is. That is what Thrive can do. Talk about it, talk more about it. There is no shame. As I said, you are not buying anger. जैसे किसी को डायबिटीज हो जाता है तो क्या बोलते हैं हम, तुम्हें डायबिटीज क्यों हो गया? अरे अब हो गया तो हो गया. हम क्या बोलते हैं, ख्याल कैसे रखोगे डायबिटीज का? The same thing is, तुम्हें एंजाइटी हो गई है, ख्याल कैसे रखो. तुम्हें एंजाइटी क्यों हो गई है? ओ माय गॉड, इसके साथ तो बैठो मत, इसको एंजाइटी. जैसे अनटचेबल हो जाते हैं लोग. So just that awareness, just that talk, just telling people I am open to it. automatically someone, someday somebody will come and say that, hey, I also want to try it. Maybe that is what you can do.
That was such an inspiring story, ma'am. Especially, I can relate to it so much because sometimes when I am personally facing such issues, such as anxiety, or you can say I panic a lot, so I try to talk it through with my friends, and that helps me out a lot. But there's a difference between talking to friends and getting professional help. And professional help will always be the better option because you get to know yourself better. And I really like the idea of ending the stigma and being the change, because obviously if we do not take the step, then how will the other person, be encouraged to end the stigma? So I really liked your thoughts.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. And it's true, you have to be the change. You can't wait for others to change it and then say, acha, theek hai, ho gaya.
exactly, I love that premise. Now, I would like to move on to the next question. And this question is based on your profile. So, we got to know that you are a CBT practitioner and a hypnotherapist. So, can you elaborate more about your work?
पीपल जब लोगों को हिप्नोथेरेपी बोलो ना, उनको लगता है पेंडुलम घुमा दिया, ऐसे कर लिया, टाक 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 एंड यू आर गॉन, राइट? सो दे फील दैट, but that is hypnodrama. That is not hypnotherapy. So it's like hypnotherapy, hypnodrama. So when we have to create drama, you can do these inductions. But anyway, so there are various forms of therapies we can use. It's like जैसे योगा है, हाथा योगा है, अष्टांगा योगा है, क्रिया योगा, बहुत सारे योगा है, राइट? सो इट इज नॉट वन योगा के हम जाते हैं. वैसे प्राणायाम में भी डिफरेंट. वैसे जब थेरेपी की बात करते हैं, देयर आर डिफरेंट फॉर्म ऑफ थेरेपीज. द CBT, ACT, DBT, many other art therapy, like the ones I practice is CBT, DBT, ACT, art therapy, hypnotherapy. Because I believe in holistic approach. So CBT is cognitive behavior therapy. Now this is taught in psychology, pure psychiatric. This is taught. So there are lots of science, researchers, backgrounds, scientific things to back it up, and people understand it more. It is talk therapy. It works with your conscious mind, and conscious mind is the front part of my brain, my frontal cortex. So that it works with that, because I'm asking questions, you're thinking, you're answering, you're trying to change and all. But then there is something called subconscious mind, unconscious mind. Subconscious mind, unconscious mind does not give you access like this. वो ऐसे नहीं है, वो पीछे बैठा हुआ है. मैं तो अपनी मर्जी से करूंगा, और मैं उस बेसिस पे करूंगा which I have learned in first 10 years of my life. तो क्या हुआ, तुम 40 साल के हो और 30, I don't care. मैंने तो भैया जो 10 साल में देखा है, I have seen my parents fighting and that is how I'll fight. I have seen my mother being dominated, that is what I will do in life. Or I will do total opposite, but that is the behavior. I have seen financial issues, doesn't matter what kind of money I have, I'll be insecure about money. I have seen somebody dying in the past, I will be insecure with my health and I'll have health anxiety. Oh, my parents were too busy, I have abandonment issues. So now, what do we do about it? Cognitively, I understand I'm 35. This is not going to happen. But my subconscious is like a baby. It's sitting there. It's like when you start learning to drive a car, you're very conscious. How do I do it? Gear lagaya, sab dekh rahe hain. But once you learn it, it becomes a behavior. You don't have to think about it. You talk, you do lots of things, you text, and you're driving. The same thing, those 10 years were learning. Now you are just driving without, being mindful, mindlessly. So how do I tap into it? How do I change that deep-rooted? If I start cognitively, then I will have to leave everything aside and work on that. But that is where hypnotherapy comes in play. It gives me access to the subconscious part of a client. And when I do self-hypnosis, it gives me access to the subconscious part of myself. That is why I practice hypnotherapy. I found it amazing. I have been practicing hypnotherapy for only last 5 years, but it did change my therapy. It did change my own life. Because when you do CBT plus hypnotherapy, the results are magical. Clients are like, I have been to so many therapists. I know my patterns. I know I do this, but I still do this. But you work with inner child, and that is the reason, more than hypnotherapy. I tell people there is something called inner child healing. Go for that. Get that healing done. Get that therapy done. And you will see automatically the changes here. But हम तो इंसान हैं, टेक्नोलॉजी में ज़्यादा बिलीव करते हैं. हम कहते हैं, but I am 25-year-old. Why do I have to work with my 5-year-old self? वो तो है ही नहीं मेरे अंदर. But then we see it. There is also something called, we practice somatic healing. Somatic healing, we believe that, your emotions get stored in your physical body. So you can have physical illnesses, be it arthritis, be it PCOD, be it diabetes, be it blood pressure, be it cardiac issues, be it acidity, be it migraine, cervical. If an emotion sits in your physical body, because now a simple thing, people can tell me, ye kya hai, bakwas hai ye. Okay, you're standing nicely, quietly. I come and I do who? You get startled. Why do you move your physical body? You move your physical body. That means you should have just gotten startled in your mind, and you should not have been displayed in your physical body. So if it has gotten displayed in your physical body, that means connection to hai. आप परेशान होते हो, हार्ट पाउंड क्यों करता है? आप रात को नींद नहीं करते हो, एसिडिटी क्यों होती है? आप परेशान होते हो, एक्ने क्यों आता है? आपके लाइफ में स्ट्रेस है, आपके पीरियड्स पेनफुल क्यों है? सो डॉक्टर्स कहते हैं सब रिपोर्ट्स बढ़िया है, बट कंसीव नहीं कर पा रहे लोग. So, all these things, when we see, these are like, I'm not saying everything. For example, I myself have a genetic illness. I'm not saying that it is because of my emotions. ठीक है, genetic में है. But I see when I'm stressed, my illness is flared up. It spikes. But when I'm calm, it lets me be. ठीक है, I have to take care of myself allopathically. I'm not leaving that. But that is why I am very big fan of hypnotherapy. Now people have this thing that, hypnotherapy से आप मेरे passwords ले जाओगे, वो बातें कराओगे जो मैं नहीं चाहता करना, और मुझे पता नहीं रहेगा, क्या पता आप मुझे अपने कंट्रोल में कर लोगे. Maybe they have watched the movie Hypnotics and they're like, oh, I can create false memories in them. I'm not saying that is not there. But a surgeon can do a surgery for you for your betterment, or a surgeon can steal your body parts. So hypnotherapy mein there are, so always go to a credible person. You don't have to just go to anybody who's like a baba or, all those people doing stage hypnotics, hypnodrama. You don't have to go to that, or those saam pakad ke chal rahe hain. You can go to a proper professional therapist. They have other degrees along with hypnotherapy. Because I don't believe only hypnotherapy ke saath we can do a lot of work with people. Maybe we can do coaching, but therapy is not possible. So yeah, I guess that is how CBT, hypnotherapy, and all these therapies are connected, and that's why I practice them.
Ma'am, I can elaborate more on how incisively you explained your thoughts on the question. Ma'am, you talked about your struggle with mental breakdown, etc., and you've now been 9+ years strong counseling psychologist, while also being an international business awardee as the founder of Enso Wellness. Is there any mantra that you've always gone by that drives you constantly?
No, man, no mantra. It is not that I don't have now issues and challenges. I guess just yesterday I put a story out there where I did say that how I got triggered with something and but it's just that because of this profession, I become very mindful of myself. Now, same thing what happened yesterday night would have happened, and I would have not gotten to know it, and I would have been 2-4 दिन चले गए, बर्बाद हो गए, बीमार हो गया, right? But just like morning when I was talking, and I realized, oh shit, what is happening, right? So I guess because of this field, I feel really, really blessed to be what I'm doing. It keeps me very in the moment. It helps me take responsibilities for my actions. I would talk to you loudly. If I can take that back, oh, I can't, then I would not. I can. Okay, I will. So that responsibility, I don't think, no, that person insulted me. I believe if I want to get insulted, I will get insulted. If I don't want to get insulted, nobody can insult me. I guess that is the power of this field. And yeah, and plus it is like, the magic is there lying. So he's sitting there, sleeping there. The bed has been put especially for them. The other one is downstairs. I guess they keep me up and running, and they keep me. They say जब पेरेंट्स को बच्चे होते हैं ना, हमारे देश में बच्चे इसलिए करते हैं कि बच्चे लोग कर रहे हैं, बच्चे करने चाहिए. That is why. So they don't enjoy being a parent. But if you really want to have a parent when you are on a very good, mature level, you will learn a lot from your child. The child will teach you how to be in the moment, how to take care of yourself, how to enjoy little things. That's what these two do for me. They keep me in the moment there, enjoy it. It is not going to come back. So yeah, that is the mantra.
Mom, that was so beautiful. And those two dogs are very cute, I must say.
I know, cutest.
And like I have seen these as well. Like there are some dogs or some helping animals. I think they are prescribed to some patients, right? And talking about movies, do you think we have an appropriate Bollywood representation of mental health?
It's a sad, unfortunate thing, but not. If I would say that one movie would have it all, no. But would I say parts and bits me lately in last few years? Yes, absolutely. It was an amazing depiction of domestic violence and why people are not able to leave domestic violence or abusive relationships was darling, And if I talk about therapy, how therapy is helpful, that was that Shah Rukh Khan and Alia Bhatt's movie, where Shah Rukh Khan just was a therapist and Alia Bhatt was a client. So though therapy doesn't happen like that, but still it gave a lot of insight to people. There was this Masaba Gupta show, Masaba karke, and the therapy was shown there. So I guess Bollywood is trying to show it. Recently, I watched this amazing Malayali movie again on violence, domestic abuse, and I posted a reel even on it. So that was it. So I guess in parts and bits, it has been depicted now. But if I would say exactly one movie talking about it, no. But that is not possible also because we want drama. So अगर वही बोलेंगे तो लोग तो भाग जाएंगे. So yeah.
Ma'am, like any other person has certain insecurities. Being in such a competitive environment, we come across the fear of getting subdued among the people better than us. How do you suggest that one should deal with such insecurities?
Okay, so, insecurity is something which comes from my fear of rejection, that I might not get accepted, validation nahi milega. And I tell people that there's nothing wrong in that. There's nothing wrong in thinking I want to get accepted and validated because it is in our genes. When we lived in tribes and jungles, bigger the tribe, better it is, safety wise, provision wise. Now we have changed, but that genetic still runs. Right? That is the reason. The reason women are multitasking and they can see sar ke piche bhi aankhein hoti hai, that is from that time when mothers were very careful protecting their child and cooking and doing. Yes. So that genetic is in us. We would want to have acceptance and validation from people. But if you seek that external validation and acceptance a lot, then you will have always that insecurity and you would not be doing anything. You have to come back a bit, say that 10 to 20% of these insecurities are good because that keeps us well behaved. Otherwise, हम flexible नहीं होंगे. अगर मुझे ये डर नहीं रहेगा कि ये इंसान मुझे छोड़ के जा सकता, मैं शायद बदतमीजी भी करूं, गाली भी दूं, abuse भी करूं, है ना? तो I also keep my behavior in check, thinking that, oh, I better have to be nice in a relationship and giving and caring and flexible. Otherwise, I might not be in it anymore. So, but when it becomes that everything has to be from outside, oh, आपने मुझे validation दिया तो मैं अच्छा हो गया, आपने मेरी तारीफ कर ली तो I'm looking good, आपने approval दे दिया तो I'm doing this. That is unhealthy, come back a little and know that it is your responsibility to work on yourself. It is not other people's job. Where it is important for us to see that we are social animals because we were born out of a womb and not out of an egg. So human attachment zaruri hai. But at the same time, God has taught us how to, be on your own, because we die alone. Doesn't matter how much you love someone, you don't die with them until and unless it is not unnatural death. You don't die with them. And even in that, I've seen people who come from earthquakes, bomb blast and war places, and there was a blast, whole family dies, and one person does not die because they're not supposed to. So that teaches us how we have to be content with ourselves as well. As much as I need to have Sohani and Chakshu in my life, I also need to learn how to be on my own. I can't be feeding on them. So that is one thing I need to learn. Second thing I need to learn is that what am I insecure about? And where is it coming from? Is it coming from those 10 years, or is it coming from now? Because if it is coming from there, you will have to rewire yourself. And it mostly does come from there. Okay, that is another thing. The third thing people can do about it is develop themselves, the abilities. I feel insecure because I am not good at this thing. It's a thing, it's a skill. Can it be learned? Yes. I feel insecure, I might lose my job because I'm not performing well. It's a thing again. You can perform well at it if you want to. If it is your priority, if it is important to you. If it is not, of course, you cannot. So I always tell people that you can do well in things if you want to. So these insecurities come from places. You will have to first figure out what is the place it is coming from, what is the reason, what are the areas I'm insecure in, and then see where's the root cause, then see what you can do about it in present. Yeah.
I think that was beautifully answered, ma'am. And as you said, that primitively we have been set up with the concept of external validation, right? So, how do you think that this generation of millennials and Gen Z have changed their perspective towards it? And do you think that we are going to go anywhere further regarding this?
Here, we human beings are so hypocritical. So it's like we're so opportunist. जो हमें सूट करता है, जो हमें कन्वीनियंट होता है, वो हमने बदल दिया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इक्वालिटी, पैसा सबको कमाना है. Those days roles were defined. आदमी का जॉब डिफाइन था, औरत का जॉब डिफाइन था, right? But now I want equality in it. Men should know this, women should know this, everything should be. But जहां पर इमोशनली चेंज करने की बात आई, वो नहीं बदला. बाकी what is convenient to people, we are changing that. But what we have to actually change, we are not working on that. Because if you're talking about all these things, about equality, about working shoulder to shoulder, ऐसे करके करना है. But when that feeling is not there, what do you do about it? When you still feel inferior, when still men feel, I should not cry, मर्द को दर्द नहीं होता. How is it going to change? When women still feel that, oh, I'm still inferior, I would get dominated. How is it going to change? We have to come to an equality now. Those days, roles were defined because men are physically stronger than women. There's no second thought about it. So that is why they were protectors and providers. They'll go hunting and they'll go tree climbing. Right? But nowadays, we don't have such threats. I don't need a man to protect me. Nowadays, the protection is here. I am resourceful. It is not much of physical threat. I'm not saying physical threats are not there. They are. But I'm not saying it's much. We have resources. So we have to change all of that. But हमने अपने हिसाब से बदलते हैं. जो चीजें अच्छी लगती वो बदलते, जो चीजें नहीं लगती उसको नहीं बदलते. So we have to, along with these 6 packs and biceps, along with the toned buttocks and bosoms, we have to actually tone our brain muscles, our thoughts, how we look at the world. I cannot have the same thought process and then think that, oh, just because you're wearing fashionable clothes and fancy brands, that does not take you anywhere if your thought process is not changed. You have to work on that. Automatically things will change.
That was very beautifully answered, ma'am, and we are sorry for the disturbance. But we would like to know the presence of social media in the mental health of people.
Everything has a pro and cons. Now, if I look at social media, I see an opportunity to create awareness and the stigma, make topics lighter, provide people help, get the help I need, informative. It depends on the mindset I have. Now, yesterday I asked a client, so I'd given some homework to a client that she has to work on her social skills and she has to make some friends. So she said that, how do I do it? I'm in Canada. I said, why don't you cook something and go to your neighbor's house, introduce yourself, talk to them and everything. Another person did go. And I said, how was it? Well, okay, I was at the door for 15 minutes. They were not opening the door. I said, so did you finally meet them? Well, yeah, I met them. I said, so how was it? I said, it's not bad. They didn't want to see me. I said, and what gave you that thought? And she said, they didn't open the door for 15 minutes. मैंने कहा, so do you have any idea why did they not open the door? बोला बस अंदर से आवाजें आ रही थी, तू खोल, तू खोल, तू खोल, तू खोल. So I was like, okay. And when you went inside, then what happened? And she's like, I sat and I gave it whatever I had to do. I came back. But I was like, I felt like unwelcome. She's like, yes, but what do you think about it? I said, if I were in your place and I would hear that too cold, I would just think they have so many issues and challenges with themselves. Poor people, poor family, whosoever they are. And she's like, then would you have gone in? I said, yeah, maybe. Or maybe I would have left. She's like, so how would you feel about it? I said, but why would I feel anything about it? She's like, but आपके लिए दरवाजा नहीं खोला. मैंने कहा, but उनका तो लाइफ में अपना प्रॉब्लम था. Right? That is the same thing. It is how you look at it. When you look at someone's picture on social media, if you feel that, oh my God, I don't have that life, then my dear friend, you are mistaken. That is a glimpse of someone's life. Like, I was not well all night. Morning, I put up a story. So, what struggle do you know that I had? So, I can put a picture right now out there, or you're seeing me talking to you, looking fabulous. And you say, oh, wow, she has all. But I had medicines right in front of you. Right? So, maybe I would have not done it if I'm on Instagram reel or on picture. So, does that mean I'm all okay? No. That is what it is, how you look at it. I see social media as an opportunity. Should people not use it? People should absolutely use it. But people should work on them if they get FOMO, if they are comparing themselves, if they have low self-esteem, if they're cringing about it. Work on yourself. Social media is a great opportunity. Instagram for me is work. My whole team says that इतने लोगों को कैसे message करेंगे? Those are the kind of messages we get. It's always about this, that, and I don't get people who bully me or who, no, I don't get, because I don't entertain such people. I'm sure there might be. I'm not saying world is, full of roses, but it is what you choose, what you want to be with. The same thing. If I am following, some fashion icon, that is all I'm going to see. All fashion, fashion, fashion. So I need to see what kind of people I'm following, what kind of content I'm absorbing, because you become what you are seeing. So maybe follow some real people, get the help. You have to. I'm sure you can learn a lot of things. I've learned a lot of things from social media, be it Facebook, LinkedIn, anything. I guess, it's amazing.
Ma'am, exactly. I can totally relate with that because it's very important to have mindfulness and a check on our following and what content we are consuming every day, right? And nowadays when new initiatives are coming up, even as for Thrive, we thought that Instagram could be a primary platform to spread awareness, spread the right information, and we get the right audience, so it would help them as well, right? And I believe that social media is not just about entertainment, but it also has a huge role in today's society. And talking about society, we all strive to give something back to it. So, what do you think we as students can do to give something back to the society?
You really want to hear that? Okay. The best thing you can give to society is taking care of yourself, nothing else. If you guys really take care of yourself, because it is not your responsibility to take care of your parents' emotions, to your teacher's emotions, to somebody else's emotions. Your responsibility right now is to protect yourself, to learn the best things you can, and to take care of your physical and mental health, not to get into drugs. You know, the human brain gets developed by the age of 26 to 27 years. 26-27 तक ब्रेन डेवलप हो रहा होता है, और हम ड्रग्स कब शुरू करते हैं? कैनबिस, वीड, अल्कोहल 17, 18, 16, आजकल 14, 13, right? So you are stopping your brain to grow from. Your brain will not have full growth. One. Second, working on your emotions, how to navigate them better, not to follow your parents' paths and not to follow your teachers' paths, not to emotion वाला बोल रही हूँ, फिर मतलब एजुकेशन वाला वो सब ठीक है, घर वाले बिल्स भरते हैं, वो भी ठीक है, but you know how your parents expressed anger or how your teacher expressed disappointment, you don't have to learn that. So maybe, you know, our parents knew one thing, doesn't matter the age, be it Gen Z or millennials or whatever, you know, it is generation it is. Our parents knew that we have to be sent to good schools, good colleges, given good clothes, good food. They made sure they gave us. Right? चाहे मार के पढ़ाया, डांट के पढ़ाया, बट अच्छे स्कूल में भेजा, जो भी वो अफोर्ड कर सकते थे. But they had no idea what emotional health is, mental health is. So how could they give you something which they don't know? They still don't understand it. Sometimes parents themselves put their kids in therapy with me and they tell me, madam, sab iske dimag mein. You know, it's just in her head. Nothing is wrong. Okay. But they put them in therapy because they are hearing about therapy now. They're like, hum to nahi sambhal sakte, aap sambhal lo. They are doing that. But back then, it was not there. Stop blaming your parents. Focus on yourself. Get selfish. And focus on yourself, that how do I learn how to navigate my emotions better? How do I learn how can I take care of my physical body better? How do I learn how can I socialize better? How do I learn how can I work on my career? How do I learn how can I express myself and say no? How do I learn how not to get into that social pressure? If students do this, because then they are going to grow into mature, stable adults. And world changes. Why is world so insecure? Because your adults are insecure. So if you guys grow into secure human beings, the definition is going to change. When you have kids tomorrow, those kids are not going to be our parents. They don't have to parentify us. They will have their childhood. They will be secure children. So I guess that is all you can do. But ये बहुत heavy cheese. I understand.
Ma'am, that was such an amazing answer. I personally feel that recently I've started looking out for myself and realized that taking care of yourself first would be more beneficial than taking somebody else's in place of yourself.
Yes.
And after hearing so much already in the field of mental health, what do you aspire to do next? Like, do you have any future plan of action?
Oh, we are doing these amazing, we're launching these amazing programs. We're coming up with some products. So yeah, it's like, I guess 2023 is full of surprises from Enso Wellness. We're having more collaborations. We are having, we're launching certain things. We are in the mode of expansion. In fact, Enso Wellness from a proprietorship is already being converted into private limited. So a lot of things are happening. I want to make sure that everybody gets access to mental health. You know, affordability should not be issue. Government should make sure that it is like there are reliable people out there. So some educational things are also happening, helping other people to train. So a lot of things are happening. Yeah.
Ma'am, I believe that is something really important, and all the best for that initiative, I believe. And yeah, so I basically wanted to ask this question since a very long time. So now I would just put it across. So I mean, being in the profession of a mental health counselor, which is sadly not acknowledged enough even today, how did you make a place for yourself in this particular, vicinity, and what has been your breakthrough journey?
It is, was there stigma? Yes. Did people not acknowledge you even sitting in the same room? Yes, all of that. But I guess, or say that I never looked in that corner. I have never faced anything that has been, oh, this career is not good. I've always focused on what I want to do rather than how people look at it. I saw potential in it back then when I realized what was happening with myself inside me when I started taking therapy, when I was in that. So I was like, even if I'm able to take care of myself continuously, being this state, my job is done. उसके मैं तो लोगों का भला होता गया. Even today, my main thing is to keep my mental sanity there, stability there. I want to be kind to myself and then to people. मेरे को नहीं करना जग का भला अपने मैं अपना mental health खराब करूं or I'll overwork. I want to be. I have never been an over ambitious person. I have right amount of ambition, right amount of passion. मेरे को नई दुनिया को conquer करना है. But I want to make sure that the kind of life I am living, when I look back at it, I don't say, yeah, I want to go back there. I want to say where I am happy. And abhi bhi, agar mere ko log puchte hai, do you want to relive your childhood and go back to school days? No, I'm more powerful here, I have all the resources here. I can go anywhere. I make money. People listen. बचपन में कौन सुनता था यार? कोई नहीं सुनता था. So पता नहीं लोग क्यों बोलते हैं. I'm sure I know that लोग क्यों बोलते हैं, but I don't want to do that. So I guess I wouldn't have wanted in any other way. Struggles were there. Recognition was not there for a long time. But if you just keep working, people automatically see it. It's not that they are not going to see it. सो जंगल में जब शेर चलता है ना, शेर ये नहीं देखता है कि इधर क्या है इधर क्या. जब उनको भूख लगती है तो वो जाके खा लेते हैं, राइट. सो आई गेस दैट सिक्योरिटी वी नीड टू हैव विद इन कि व्हाई एम आई डूइंग व्हाट आई एम डूइंग. If I'm doing it for people, it will bug me that I'm not being recognized. If I'm doing it for myself, I'm sure. And if you do it right way, a lot of people think mental health does not have money. I ask them, where are you working? If you know how to do it, anything, singing on the road will give you money. Gardening will give you, anything will give you money if you're passionate about it. But if you're just doing it because the world has asked you to do, and I guess that way I'm quite blessed. I chose this profession as an adult and not as a young person. So that's why I'm 35 and I have only 9 years of experience because I started at 26. So it's like I chose it. I'm quite happy with it.
Ma'am, I can totally relate with your answer. Like, people always say, I want to go back to my school days. But now that I've come, like, I'm present there, I'm enjoying my life. And rather than just grieving what our past has given us, just try to enjoy what the present we are living through.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for beautifully encapsulating all your thoughts throughout the interview session. We are highly grateful that to have hosted you. I can vouch for a fact that this interview session was an enriching experience for everyone. With
Thank
this,
you.
with this, today's much awaited interview session has come to an end. We are highly grateful to have received your precious time, ma'am. I, on behalf of the whole team of Thrive and Esplanade to Tranquility, can say that it was truly a wonderful and informative session. It was so inspiring to know about your struggles and the kind of impact you have on the society and consistently continue to make it. Also, a special mention to the founders for their constant guidance and support that helped us pull off such an amazing session. Thanks a bunch once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys. And I wish you all the best. I'm sure you guys are going to make it big. Get out of your colleges, just change the world in your own way. But make sure that you take care of yourselves. So, all the best to all four of you. And yeah, take care of yourselves.